You are looking live at the ice rinks at Shelton in Connecticut, where the New Jersey Bandits are getting set to take on the Connecticut Polar Bears in the first of a Sunday doubleheader. Hi everybody, it's Joe Rizzo bringing you the action on Rizzo Vision. As yes, we are back bringing it to you, and the Bandits get ready. On the far side of the ice, they are the visiting team, at least in the first game, and because of the travel arrangements that are typical from some of these matchups, sometimes they will switch off in the later game from, even though you're playing on the road, you might get the benefit of being the home team, which is the late change. Bandits in the mainly black-based uniforms. They are with the gold helmets now, and this is the first time that they will be wearing the black jerseys with the gold helmets. They just debuted them on Saturday. So for many of you, or most of you, this is your first look. They have numerals that are somewhat bespectacled. They look white, but they have a little bit of gray sparkle in them, which is absolutely fabulous for an announcer because it helps you see the numbers very, very clearly. White nameplates, they have the dark pink mixed into the scheme on the sleeves and on the socks and various parts throughout the jersey. They have a cool stripe at the bottom that has Zephyr in there, pink on the back of the socks, gray on the front, and the black and white stripe in between on the sides. The Polar Bears, with the white schemed jerseys on the base, will have Aaron Samuelson in goal to start it out. White jerseys with black and blue stripes on the sides at the bottom of the sleeves and the bottom of the jersey, blue numerals outlined in black. The Bandits will start out with Lexi Riley in goal, and Harper Keenan, if Lexi plays the first game, will probably play game number 2. Folia up front with McSherry on the left and Sperling on the right. The defense pair, Shoemaker, Gromick, and Kepler. Underway, period number 1. Sperling with it, gets it in the attacking zone, picked up and moved out in front of us by D'Souza. The defense pair exchange, and back into their own end are the Polar Bears. These are two of the top teams in the AGHF and playing for keeps here. The first game between them, as that shot was blocked, first game between them went to the Polar Bears. I believe it was a 2-0 score. But I think that was all the way back in August. So a lot has changed since then as we are into nearly the end of September. We're trying to bring you the best perch that we can, so we're at ice level, right at the blue line of the Bandits attacking zone, and we'll see how that works out for us. We could maybe switch to center at some point, or switch to the other blue line for the next period, but we'll play it by ear and bring you the action as best we can. McNulty on the near side with Camarada and Mandy Scott. That's the line. Venuto and McCaffrey, the defense pair. Moved up and out, that was Bryn Cunningham, 7. She tried to connect with Alexandra Grice, 8, but they didn't connect. They get the puck into the zone for a moment, send it in offside. Boy, that looked like a deliberate offside. If there's an offside, there's no delayed offside anymore at these levels. You'd have to switch to U.S. high school rules, or rather maybe New Jersey, New York, Connecticut high school rules, or get up to the next level of collegiate hockey before you would see a delayed offside, but there's something called an intentional offside where the player really has the discretion of holding the puck, and if they make the intentional offside, the offending team should have the face-off in their own end. They did not do that. They do it in some regions. In central New York, you'll see an offside called intentional almost every time, but not today so far. Polar Bears in the white will move it up and out. Guarino had it. He was looking for it at the point. McNulty with it. She'll dump it and force the change. Claus, the first forechecker, with Rizzo behind, and Bellin, who you see there, 46. Polar Bears send it out, and Drain was looking to maybe dump it, but sent it to Shoemaker-Gromik. That puck jumps out for not an offside, but the Bandits shot it into their own bench. Riley in the nets for now. Shot redirected in front. That was Drain again, but it doesn't go on net. Battled for in the far side corner. Manchada was there, sent to the point. Shot, attempted redirect off Riley Gagnon's offering. Ends up wide. Brought up the near side wing by Luisa Rizzo. There you see 21. You get a good look at her. Letting the locks flow today. Mostly in the ponytail. We know that because, yeah, she has the same last name. You could draw your own conclusions. Near side, Rizzo on the attack, forces Drain to dump it. And the Bandits on that dump. Boy, that puck was really alive. It got all the way around and through the defense, but they do manage to get it out. Oh, McSherry nearly picked that one off. Took a hit from behind. No call there. Referee looking at it, though, to make sure that there was nothing else unsavory going on or unseemly. McSherry was trying to get out of the zone and just got bumped on the way out. You'll see better teams try to do that frequently. Comes to the near side. McSherry missed it with the stick, got it with the skate. Couldn't hold on to it to get it in. Franzi sends it deep. In pursuit, Stowe, but Stowe is beaten there by Kepler. Sent right through the wickets. That's why there's no icing. It was a player right there from the Polar Bears. The puck went maybe even through her legs. Hard to see from the opposite side, but the referee on the far side immediately called no icing. They break out, does Connecticut. That's Bouvet. Bouvet lost it there, battled for. Venuto picks it up, sends it up the far side wing for McSherry, who tried to spirit it forward but couldn't get it through. It comes in front, but not for long. At the point, trying to keep it in was Sadlin, but sadly for her, she couldn't do it, had to retreat, bring it out, wait for her team to tag up, and then send it back in. Up the near side wall, Jesse Sterling, 53, smacks that puck off the boards and hustles off for a change. McCaffrey and Venuto, the defense pair now. Mandy Scott hustling in, knocked that one down, so Venuto will pick it up and exchange with McCaffrey in neutral ice. McCaffrey sends it under the foot of McSherry, but she was about a foot behind the red line, and that will force the icing. A little bit of a glare over there, so hopefully you can see. Usually we don't want clouds or bad weather, but in this case, maybe we'll take it. If it decreases some of the glare for you. 11:48 left, period one, no score. Bandits in the dark jerseys, and the Connecticut Polar Bears in the white. Breaking out up the far wing, Izzy Camarada has to dump it as D'Souza stepped into her space. Camarada with it, and Scott blocked the pass out. Camarada picks it up, sends it in. Up the near side wall, it jumps over a couple of sticks, the last one of Cunningham, and regaining in their own zone were the Bandits. Now Back here, picked off for a moment by McNulty. Couldn't get it cleanly. It comes to the point, and it gets past Scott. So the line's mixed up here a little bit, not the combinations that you might be used to, and that is a sign of the depth of the Bandits, who are without a few of their players. We'll get to that in a moment. Camarada slaps it. There's one save, rebound, shot, knocked away by D'Souza. So Samuelson up to the task. I think that might be the official first shot on goal. Kevin Camarada is keeping shots on goal for us. They're not on the scoreboard today, so Kevin will give us updates. Hopefully, I think he's doing shots. Will give us updates between periods, so we'll let you know what the shot totals are then. A lot of hockey being played very quickly. We're already down to 10 minutes, 10 seconds left in the first period. Only a couple of stoppages so far, and there I probably jinxed it, but nonetheless, that's a fact of what's happening. I think just 2 whistles thus far. Comes to the near side and neutral ice, and Lepore picks it up and sends it in. Turns away and skates back to the bench for a change, tapping the stick on the left side of your screen. We give up a little bit of the view to the far end, and there is the first penalty of the game as McSherry has it. McSherry sends it toward the middle, touched up there by Gagnon, and the first penalty call is, it looks like a checking call, and we'll see who the offending player is, and it is Carly Guarino. So Guarino in for a couple of minutes for what looked like the checking call, and the Bandits with their first power play of the game, the first for either team. Scott on the dot, Camarada in the slot, McNulty on the near side wing. Venuto left, McCaffrey center at the points. McNulty wins the faceoff, sends it to Venuto, who fires it to McCaffrey. McCaffrey for Camarada, they play catch on the far side wall. Now Venuto between the points, sends it at the net, but a little bit wide on purpose to get it through the lane and get it down low. Camarada picks it up, doesn't have anybody in front, so goes to Scott. They play catch behind the end line. McNulty trying to get free in the lane. McCaffrey shot, save, rebound. Scott had it up about 2 feet up on her stick, so she didn't have a realistic shot. If she was maybe a 400 hitter in baseball or softball, she might have been able to react that quickly, but she would have needed Ted Williams-like reflexes, or Ty Cobb, or Luis Ariz, if you want a more current reference, to be able to bat that one in. So no fault of Mandy's there. She actually got a piece of it with the shaft of the stick. They redo it there. Venuto fakes the point-to-point pass, or at least recovered just in time, because the Polar Bears were trying to pick it off. They would have had a 2-on-0. So good job by Venuto to hit the brakes there. Sent up, and that will be out, and immediately does Mary Stowe understand that she iced the puck. A little frustrated with herself, but those are the rules at this level. You have icing in effect in all situations, no matter if you're down 2 players or 1. Sperling now on the dot, Folia and McSherry on the left boards, but it's somewhat academic, but not really, because the Bandits lost the faceoff but then stole the possession. Folia in the corner, looking maybe to center it, sends it to Kepler on the half boards. Kepler down low for Folia. Folia walks in, backdoor, Sperling shot, big save right there by Samuelson. She got the blocker on it, and Sperling had the inside post on this side ticketed and nearly sniped it. Now 38 seconds left. A great chance on the power play for the Bandits right there. Sperling nearly converting. Sperling picks that one off, sends it toward the middle. McSherry blocks it down, and at the same time was trying to pass it over to Folia, who was open in the slot. But a good solid play there by Daphne Barrett prevented that from happening. McSherry now looking to get it set up one more time. Sent it hard through the middle. Fired off the boards on the near side. Chipped up. Shoemaker Groma keeps it in. Sperling gets down into the left circle. Walks it down low. Backhander! And she puts up her hand that she scored! The puck was in the net! The puck went under the bar, and she can't believe it. The puck was in the net. And the referee said no. He says it hit the bar, but it looked like it went inside and came out. There's no replay at this level. Sperling lifted the hands. She knows it was in. It went in and came out. It hit the inside crossbar that goes around and popped right out. The referee said no. Nothing they can really do about that, but if the referee says no, they say no. Now the rear side referee will go to the penalty box to close the door as the expiration of the penalty has happened, and nobody in there to man the box for either team, so that could be an issue later on. You don't want these players skating around with a door open. Folia now at even strength, centers it in the middle. McSherry got dumped from behind, right in front by Gagnon, and they let that one go. So letting some of the rough stuff go behind the play at the moment, but you will see that. That's not necessarily cheap hockey. Folia comes down, has Sperling, takes a shot, kicked away by Samuelson. Sperling sends it wheeling around, and Shoemaker-Gromick kept it in, but with a little too much juice there, and now it pops out of the zone and back in for the offside. So the Bandits, on the scoreboard, it says 0-0, but they did put one in the net. And Jessie Sperling still can't believe it as she goes over to the bench. Frustrated, but that's what happens. If the refs don't see it, then you don't get it. They play on at 0-0. 6:45 left, period one. Thanks for joining us on a football Sunday, the first of two on a Sunday doubleheader. Just like we're talking about a football Sunday, but the old school baseball is a Sunday doubleheader. Down low in front, the first save for Riley of this sequence is a kick save with the left pad. Centered, now taken away. Chipped up toward the far boards by McCaffrey. Eventually, Rizzo blocked a shot. Got a piece of the shot there from Gagnon, and Riley covers it up. So McSherry, one of the ones that got bumped behind a play, and it was somebody else that was just over here. So what good teams will do is, behind the play, when they can get away with it, they'll bump you to keep you a stride out or take you a stride longer, a moment longer to get back into the play. You'll see that when the Bandits played the Canadian teams or some of the higher ranked teams, the AAA level teams, or the higher ranked AA teams will tend to do that. And it's just a bit of the way, the subtle differences sometimes that are not maybe visible to the average viewer of what makes some of the levels higher and lower. You see players that can skate and players that can shoot and goalies that are more than capable, and sometimes it can be hard to tell the difference between some of the levels and some of the things that make a difference. Well, that's one of them, physical play and the ability to do some of that stuff and not get penalized. And in games between higher level teams, the referees will tend to let more of it go, as both teams are usually able to give it and take it equally. And the Bandits are certainly capable of doing that. They just don't want to spend half the day in the penalty box. And they've been generally very disciplined about it this season. One-time slapper, that was Murillo. Didn't get all the way through. It comes into the offensive zone. It's going to be an icing if it clears the line. Actually, it's not. Maybe it hit somebody over there. I didn't see the backside referee as I was following the puck. Kept in by Shoemaker-Gromick right in front of you. And McNulty, you get a look at Maeve right there, number 4. Sent on the far side and up the middle. Now rushing in is Barrett. Barrett tried to get it at the net, but mostly what she's doing is carrying the puck so the rest of her team can change, which they do. Camarada fights to try to get it out of the zone, can't do it successfully, and we're at 4:45 left in period one. No score between the Bandits and the Connecticut Polar Bears, the first of 2 on the day. Wrist shot, gets through traffic, but was sent wide of the net so it could get down low. Bouvet plays with it along the far side wall, gives it away, gets it back, centers it, but the one-time shot by Sadlam didn't connect. Changing behind the play is one of the defensemen, that's Lepore, and That means getting back is Gagnon. That puck's spinning on its end, and the ref waves it off. Dubiously, I'm not sure why. The ref waved that icing off, but maybe a little bit of a break for the Bandits, and probably not a break for either team as play just continues ping-ponging through the neutral zone. So nothing gained, nothing lost either side on the waved off icing. Off the boards on the far side, chipped up now out of the zone and into neutral ice. Sperling trying to get through, couldn't sweep it away from Sadlin, who grabs it, dumps it, and peels off for a change, as do two of her teammates. Two forwards and a defenseman now jumping on for the Polar Bears. Trying to bring it out of the corner and send it through the middle. They do. Gagnon, wrist shot. Riley lets it go. Dives on it by the end line, but couldn't corral it. Folia smacked it away. McSherry bangs it forward. It's not out of the zone yet. Gagnon with it, looking for a shot. She takes it, but Riley drops the glove and corrals it for the whistle. Big save there by Lexi Riley as Riley Gagnon moved in from the left point and got off a good shot, but no traffic in front. Lexi sees it, she stops it. McNulty trying to turn the corner, gets the stick lifted, but nonetheless gets through. Center and feed, but it's picked off. She was looking for Camerata, secondarily Scott. Venuto over for McCaffrey. They didn't get it cleanly. Camerata now picks it up. She'll skate toward the logo at center ice, has to battle for it, still battling under pressure. Gets a little help from McNulty. Scott trying to get behind the D, gets the stick lifted. She's getting hacked all over the place, they don't call it. Got hacked in the hands right there. There's a shot by McNulty, and Samuelson knocks it down with the logo on the front of her jersey and covers it up. Boy, there was some stick work on the hands of Mandy Scott. Now, typically what the refs will do is if they see the stick coming underneath from the defender to the offensive player, if they're trying to lift the stick, they'll let that go. That's not a slash. But if they're coming from the top or the side, as Camerata tries to corral it in the slot, if they're coming from the top or the side, or if the stick hits the gloves, it's an automatic call. Camerata gets in, and she scores! The Camerata cannon lights the lamp, and with 2:19 left in period one, the Bandits jump out to a 1-0 lead. 93 with her first of the game, and she blows the kiss to her goaltender over there. It came from the far side corner. Camerata got just a hair free in the slot and ripped the shot over Samuelson. So the Bandits, for their hard work, get paid off. They feel like they should be up 2-0 because it looked like Jessie Sperling scored earlier in the period on the power play, but the referee who was right there said no. Rizzo up front now with Claus and Velen. Shoemaker, Gromick, and Kepler on D, harassing as they try to bring it in. Three Bandits converge, break up the play for a moment, but it's picked up, knocked away, loose in front. Riley maybe made a save, or that one went wide. This is going to be Claus trying to race it down. That puck is not icing. They say no icing. Claus is going to be the first to get there, looking for Bellin in front. Bellin takes a hit there from Gagnon. Folia now jumps out as Rizzo jumps off. Claus and Bellin will head to the bench. At least Claus does. Folia's there. Going to look for room to dump it because McSherry was just jumping on, and Sperling to complete the change. Sent down into the offensive zone for the Polar Bears. It's 1-0 Bandits. There's 70 seconds left in the period. Period number one. Retreating to her own end. Morello exchanges there with Lepore up the middle. They can't connect. Now grabbing it and waiting for the onside is Mary Stowe, 65 in white. Up the far wing, Sperling tips it. It gets out of the zone. No momentum on the puck to get an icing there. McSherry tries to knock that one down. She does. Sperling curls, tries to fire a high shot, but exceeded the height of the net. It goes to the near side corner. Folia battles there. McSherry comes in, sends it to the point. Kepler Sent it through traffic, got it on net, and a kick save by Samuelson, who controlled the rebound. Sperling was looking maybe for a wraparound just to get it into the middle. McSherry one-times it, and she scores with 14.9 seconds left in period number 1. Number 13 makes it 2-0 for the Bandits. Mia McSherry found that pass coming from the far side of the net, one-timed it, and she got so much on it that she knocked the stick out of the hands of the Polar Bears defender. So she was marked and she got it. Period about to expire here, but the Bandits trying to add one more. 7 seconds now. They try to center it. Foley is there. It almost went all the way through. That's going to expire the period, as a big play there by Rebecca Sadlin kept that maybe from being a 3-0 score. So the Bandits have come out firing. It's 2-0. It probably could well be 3-0. Shots on goal for the first, 9 for the Bandits, 4, or is that 7? That's 4. Okay, 4 for the Polar Bears. So you might see the goalie change here. We're going to see, I think, a change by the announcer to switch sides, continue to give you a better look. And we'll give you a little look at the crowd as we move over. Great crowd today on a football Sunday. A little more interested in hockey, mainly because of the players that are out there. I'll give you a better look over here for period 2. Bandits designated the away team on the away bench. I'm not sure that they're actually the away team because it's Bandit personnel, Cindy and Jen, manning the clock and the score sheet, the electronic score sheet. So this might actually be the home game, but just on the away bench. Lexi Riley now heads to the opposite end. She will guard the goal to your YouTube left. You see 32 heading down there. And Erin Samuelson protecting the net to your right. 2-0 Bandits as we start the second. Underway. Murata took the face off there, sending it in was Scott. Comes to the far side point. Venuto tried to knock it down, couldn't quite do that. Got some young people here. Hopefully nobody just runs into me, as they may or may not be paying attention. Hopefully they are. Moved up the far side wall. McNulty off the boards. Now picked up and sent in by Barrett. First there is McCaffrey, and Katie sends it around the near side wall. Comes to the point, shot by Gagnon, goes wide. Just underway, period 2. We're glad that you are joining us on Rizzo Vision. The first of 2. We'll be back at it at 3:30 Eastern Time. No icing on that one. So a lot of waved off icings. That's been sort of the story of the first and the early part of the second period. Near side wall, Scott knocked it down. Didn't bring it right into the zone because Camerata was there. Camerata picks it up, trying to turn the corner on the far side. Has a lot of traffic there, and Barrett got a piece of it. Sent it into the Bandit zone, and that one now sent down, and it is going to be an icing. So the adjusted alignment is due to the absence of some of our wonderful players. Ava Otterbein. Hopefully we get Ava back very soon. And Olivia and Gabby Rothstein not in the lineup today. This one knocked out by McSherry. There's maybe too much on it, and that will be an icing. Oh boy, Mia was really hoping to catch that one up. So some adjustments to what we've been used to seeing in terms of combinations, but the team has depth and they are using it. Shot goes through traffic and Riley had to get the stick on it to make the save. It was Morello. Comes through the middle, top of the slot, one-timer, save by Riley, and another save as she covers it up. Looked like Amanda Lepore jumped into that one and got a lot on it. You could hear the stick clank from Riley on the first save there. And with 15:07 left in period 2, and the Bandits holding a 2-0 lead, they operate from their own end. Shoemaker Gromick tries to send it off the boards, couldn't do it. Centering feed, tied up in front. Kepler got just enough of whoever it was there in front. Looked like it was Grice. Alexandra Grice maybe with a good scoring chance, but Morgan Kepler denied it. Grice now battles Folia for it. It's in penalty zone area right there because it looked like she hooked Folia, and Grice, after the scoring chance, will now go to the box for a hook with 14:35 left in period number 2, and the Bandits holding a 2-0 lead. They will operate on their second power play. They appeared to score on their first one. Jessie Sperling, between games, we'll have a little chat and we'll ask her what she saw, but she saw what I thought I saw, which is a puck go into the back of the net, but not called a goal. McCaffrey looking, turning, Venuto, top of the slot, shot was blocked. It knocks 2 pucks. Well, 2 pucks jump into the ice. Sounds like a joke. 2 pucks jump onto the ice. So it hit an errant puck that was sitting in the netting at the top of the high glass behind the goal. And 1 puck hit it, 2 pucks popped out. Sent in by McCaffrey, Gagnon fires it off the boards and off of her own player. Drained, but got it into the neutral ice area, at least for the moment. We'll try the same thing. It goes just above us and is an icing call. So 13:54 left, period 2. 1:20 on the power play. Bandits holding a 2-0 lead over the Connecticut Polar Bears. Bandits in the dark jerseys, Polar Bears in the white. We'll see if they change that for the later game. Folia fires that face-off into the glass, into the corner, and an unusual way to win it. Sperling one-timer, fired it wide, whistling there on the near side wall, getting it out for the Polar Bears. Manchada did it. Kepler in neutral ice, looking for some room, sends it off the scorer's area, jumped into the lane. Folia knocked out of the zone, and now Stowe's going to get it at neutral ice and get it into the offensive zone. Gets all the way in, shot, and she scores! Mary Stowe cuts the Polar Bears deficit in half with a shorthanded goal with 13:16 left in period 2. A brilliant play. She got through one in the neutral zone and got through another in the defensive zone, and then was able to get a shot. Got to fairly close range there and was able to lift it over the glove of Riley. So the Bandits get the power play, but the Polar Bears get the goal. 2-1, New Jersey. McCaffrey chipped forward. She'll get it into the zone, but Lepore will pick it up. Skated around her own net, fire it off the wall on the far side. Venuto couldn't get it. The icing arm is up, but now they're gonna wave it off. It didn't quite, it might have gotten to the line, but Venuto slowed down a little bit. Sperling is able to get that on the long pass, gain the line on the right side, and dump it to the far side looking for McSherry. McSherry centers it back. Folia tries to pick it off. Knocked down there. Folia regains it off McSherry's steal. Sperling's going to pick it up in the corner. Turns around. Gets whacked in the head with the stick and no call. The referee's looking right at it. Sperling just took a whack, and she makes up for it by putting it in the net. It's an even strength goal for Jessie Sperling, and the Bandits regain the 2-goal lead. It's 3-1 with 12:27 left in period 2. Hey, Jessie! So Sperling took a whack with the stick blade right to the cage, threw her hands up only for a moment, then regained the puck, marched in on Samuelson, and got it above the kneeling goaltender. So it's not a power play goal, but I think they still were relatively establishing position with the man advantage. Claus with a shot that's kicked away. Comes to the near side and sent out. Now through neutral ice, Shoemaker-Gromick with it. Bellin knocks it down. Rizzo picks it up. Rizzo in the slot. Gets tied up. Tied up again. Bellin gets it through. Rizzo gets upended there. Kept in by Shoemaker-Gromick at the point. Gets through 2, but eventually it's sent down. No, Rizzo picks it off. Rizzo down low for Bellin. Bellin with the backhander. And it doesn't get quite to the net. Maybe Samuelson had to get a piece of it. That line bringing some energy here. Put together for the final 2 or 3 periods on Saturday. Now playing together again. Claus at close range sends it just wide. It comes to the Polar Bears who pick it up. D'Souza sends it up the middle. It's not going to be an icing. The puck is sputtering on its end. Picked up by Kepler off the boards on the near side for Camerata. Perfect angle. Izzy skates in. Fires a shot blindly. Big save by Samuelson. She got the pad on a bouncing puck. Camerata had almost everybody fooled, including me. She got it through a mouse hole. McNulty was there for a rebound, but Samuelson didn't give it to her. Off the end boards, Camerata battling for it. Now McNulty comes in, banked off the boards, and the Polar Bears break out. That's Cameron Bouvet. She dumps it in and heads over to the bench for a change. Bandits have not given the Polar Bears much of a chance to possess the puck in their zone for this part of the period. In the early going of the period, Connecticut did have a lot of the possession, but it lasted for about a minute and a half. Scott gets checked into the boards maybe, but it could have been just a push. She hustles back into the play, and now turning, getting in front, trying to fire it off, but couldn't pull the trigger. Was Grice. She had skated it, or that wasn't Grice, that was maybe Cunningham. Trying to skate it around the back of the net, come to the front and fire it. Offsides the call, whistle stops play with 9:54 left in period number 2. Bandits with a 3-1 lead. Camerata, McSherry, and Sperling for the Bandits, wearing the gold helmets. That's going to be the easy way to describe them until they run into someone else who has gold helmets. Not likely, but possible. Sperling gets through. Taking some hacks there, but most all from underneath the stick. They're going to let those go. There's nothing illegal about trying to lift the stick or hitting the other player's stick from underneath. It's when they do it from the top or the side that it becomes a problem. Folia brings it in, takes a shot. Samuelson stays high to make the save. Folia with it, wraps it around for McSherry. One-timer, saves Samuelson, kicked the rebound away, or at least swatted it away. Comes to the near side wall. Folia got tied up there for a moment. There's a 14 that with the white helmet. That's a player whose name and number I do not have. Near side, falling down there was D'Souza. Bandits gain possession. Venuto through traffic. Samuelson save, doesn't yield a rebound. And it's a good thing because the Bandits had 2 in front. looking to pounce. Face off in the offensive zone. Folia on the dot, McSherry in the slot. Sperling on the far wing. Venuto cheats up to the top of the circle. Folia wins the face-off. Sperling gets through traffic. Got it in the slot. Just lost the handle right there. Takes it out for a moment with her skates, although Machado was trying to break away there. Picked up in neutral ice and trying to fire it on Riley, who stops it. Looked like that was that D'Souza or was that Lepore? Riley makes the save with the Bandits crest on her chest and covers it up. Defensive zone draw. Camarada takes it. Scott was trying to hustle. Got dumped. 2 penalties in the game. Both have been committed by Connecticut. Sent up and off the skates of Lepore, so it gets out of the zone. They revert back into their own end. McNulty will jump off for a change. Camarada will keep the forecheck going. Good change there as Bellin jumps out. Scott's still out there. They change at least one forward while in the offensive zone. McCaffrey jumps in to keep it in. McCaffrey's going to go all the way down. Scott's going to hustle off for a change. Centering feed. Bellin's going to try to pick it up. Tries to tie up her player. Rizzo knocks it down for a moment, and then getting the stick on it was Samantha Drain to get it out of the zone. Off the wall on the far side. Bellin gets a piece. Camarada's still out there. She's at the way end of her shift, but she's caught on the far side. Bringing it in as Venuto has Rizzo with her and Camarada the trailer. Rizzo almost picked it off down low. We saw her score like that against the Rockets about a month ago, where she was 1-on-3, knocked it down, and was able to score. Nearly had another. 7:09 left in the second period. 3-1 Bandits. Luisa Rizzo comes in, fires it wide, mainly a dump to get Claus possession. Claus tries to go low with it. It's kept in by Shoemaker Gromick for a moment and then pushed through, and big play by Venuto to break up what would have been a 2-on-0. Fernanda Venuto breaks up the play. And it's changing in the offensive zone. This is a key in the second period. They've done it well. They changed out 2 forwards on this possession. Claus, the remaining one, as soon as she gets a chance or gets close to the bench, she'll probably jump over the wall. And that's what she does. Folia comes in, shot, big save. It looked like Samuelson got a piece to send it wide. And it's putting a lot of pressure on. Folia was trying to get it to McSherry down low and shakes off one defender. Backhand feed. McSherry eventually helps Folia get it through. Sperling forces the offensive player, Manicky, to revert and turn the other way. So the Bandits keep the pressure on. They've been able to change almost all 5 now, I think, on this shift with the puck in the offensive zone. And finally, the Polar Bears get it out. It hit off a Bandit and went back in for the offside. 5:54 left, period number 2, 3-1 Bandits. Thanks for joining us on a football Sunday. NFL getting underway 16 minutes ago. Giants versus Commanders. Jets with the bye week this week. Patriots versus the Bills. If you're one of our Polar Bears fans who is more New England than New York. And of course all the other games, too many to mention, but those the 3 essentially locals from where we are. Up the far wall, centered. Scott tried to backhand it forward. Got it over the end line. Spinning and turning is Sadlin. Still with it, regains, looking to hit somebody up the middle. Sent it a little bit too strongly for Barrett. Bandits pick it up. Morello brought it back into their own side. They try to just get it out. Kepler knocked it down, so she'll get possession, but has to retreat the zone. Kepler left it into the safer part of the neutral zone as she didn't quite have the handle over there. Now picks it up, sends it up the near side wall. Bandits have not given the Polar Bears, the potent Polar Bears, much of an offensive zone possession, not extended ones here in period 2, but the Polar Bears do have a shorthanded goal on a nifty breakaway by Mary Stowe. There's a shot that's fired and Riley kicks it away. You could hear the thud of her pads all the way from the opposite blue line. Camarada trying to outrace Gagnon, but Gagnon had the step. Camarada battles her for the puck, picked off by Bellin for a moment. Now Bellin battles for it, steps into Gagnon, takes a couple of hits for it. Gagnon, a strong player, number 5. Bellin gets creamed in front and there's just no call. Wow, coming right in the middle and just got absolutely decked right there. Scott trying to battle for it. 3:53 left in period number 2. Bandits with the 2-goal lead. It's 3-1. 3 even strength goals for the Bandits, albeit the last one right after the expiration of a power play on which the Polar Bears scored. That one trickles over the line, but no icing. And the Bandits finally complete their change. Rizzo, who just jumped on, was able to keep it in, trying to get it toward the middle, but actually sent it into Bellin's skates. Now the Polar Bears are going to break out. Here's the unnamed number 14. Rizzo picks it up, bangs into her, sent down by Kepler, and the icing. .3:11 left, period 2, 3-1 Bandits on Rizzo Vision. Defensive zone draw to be taken by Foglia against Guarino. Foglia wins it. Comes to the near side wall. McSherry's going to shepherd that one out of the zone and tried to hit Sperling up the middle. D'Souza retreats into her own end. Will fire it off the boards in front of the Bandits bench, but Foglia walks right into it, sends it for the back door. A little too strong for McSherry, but she picked it up. McSherry smacks it down low. Foglia tries to steer off D'Souza, does it with the angle. Perfect textbook angling right there. You could look it up on the USA Hockey videos on how to do it. Make contact with the puck, slide your hip into the other player's hip. Don't close a gap to make contact. Foglia did it perfect. Shot through traffic. Samuelson steers it aside. D'Souza smacks it, but it goes into the glove of Harper Keenan, serving as the backup netminder, and I could see the beaming smile of number 40 on a save for which Harper will not be credited, but nonetheless is always making us very proud, those who support the Bandits side. We'll never see anything but a smile from Harper Keenan. Centering feed knocked away, sent up the middle far enough for Venuto to have to retreat out of the zone. Hayden McCaffrey with it, and here comes 54, dumping it in, and following, doesn't want to get much room in the lane from Guarino, who, again, this is what good teams will do. They'll just do little things like that, jump in your lane, not do it on interference. Sperling picks it off, backhander, big save by Samuelson. Somebody broke a stick over there. Who was it? I see a broken stick, but I don't see anybody without a stick, so maybe they hustled off quickly. Kept in by Sperling, chipped off the boards on the near side, and it goes around drain. McCaffrey, you get a good look at 54, using the body to battle. McSherry hit it, but it goes out, trying to change on the far side. McNulty, she gets on and will have to just keep trying to pursue from behind. They prevent the pass in combination, do 2 Bandits, one of them being Venuto. Sends it for Scott through the wickets, picked up by 14, the unnamed 14. White helmet, that usually is the indicator, and not on the roster that I had. Here's an attempt by Stowe, but she couldn't get the puck to sit down. McNulty's trying to break away or find Camarada. Camarada had to hit the brakes, so it was a good play there by D'Souza to prevent McNulty from sending Camarada on a breakaway. Maddie D'Souza 6 and white. Near side wall, Camerata sends it back down low for Scott. Scott tries to pick it off. D'Souza gets a piece. It goes to the far side wall for Stowe. Chipped out, trying to make the break. Franzi, Sophia Franzi tries to get it down low, looking for a little help from Maneki. Amelia Maneki got a piece. They play with it on the near side boards, kind of out of view. Not a clear view. Sent down, but not through traffic, and it comes to the near side with 6 seconds left in the period. Bandits need to just fall on the grenade here, and that will do it, as Keenan was using her blocker to bang on the wall and give a cadence, an audio cadence, as to how much time was left in the period. So after 2, Bandits lead it 3-1. We'll switch sides again, give you the same view for the third in a moment, once Kevin Camerata gives me the shots on goal. 11-5 for the period, and a total of 20-9 in favor of the Bandits. Switch sides again, give you a look at the crowd. Excited crowd. Goalie mom, goalie mom, goalie dad, goalie dad. Okay, we'll reestablish our perch here for period 3. Why am I focusing on the goal? Well, that's because I don't want you to have a seam of glass in the view. I mean, that's the way it happens on Rizzo Vision. Everything happens live. When we're live. Except for the times when we're not live. Being a little creative about that. More on that to come, but definitely watch and follow Rizzo Vision for everything you want to know about the U19 AA Bandits girls. Lexi Riley now on patrol in front of the net to your YouTube right. And Aaron Samuelson will once again guard the goal to your YouTube left. 3-1 Bandits as we head into the final period of Game 1. They'll do it again in just a few hours. Great for the parents as we're underway in the third. For the players, not much refractory time. Not much time to recover between games, but maybe enough to get a little something to eat. Varies from player to player. Some players barely want to eat anything. Others would want to eat a full meal after playing one and getting ready for a second, even with a short period between. Near side wall, skating it up, Folia. Sends it off the boards, got to stick up high. There's been a few of those, and the Bandits still have the benefit of the only 2 power plays in the game, but there probably could be a few more. They also appeared to have scored the first goal of the game, but it was waved off. Folia takes a high hit there, and that one's going to be called on Remy Morello. I think the referee might have said you're both going off. So Folia does head toward the bench area. Let's see if she goes to the box. And she does. Actually, they call it only on Folia. So typically you see the retaliation being called. Pretty clear two-hand cross-check to the cage by Morello to Folia, but they only call 1. So now the Bandits, for the first time, are shorthanded. The Polar Bears have scored a shorthanded goal. Now they get their first chance on the power play. Shoemaker-Gromick bangs it off the boards on the far side. Scott and Camerata up front. That was knocked down by Shoemaker-Gromick. That one knocked down again by Shoemaker-Gromick. Back on defense with Kepler. Wrist shot fired wide by Gagnon. D'Souza at the point, picked off almost by Scott, was trying to get off to the races, got tied up there Camerata sends it down, and it's going to be an icing. 1:27 left in the power play. For Connecticut, 15:34 left in the third period. 3-1, the Bandits lead. 3 even strength goals, the last one coming just after a penalty expired for the Bandits and a shorthander, like we mentioned, on that last power play for the Polar Bears. Scott steals the face-off, dumps it into neutral ice for herself, gets a whack at the skates. She's 1 on 5, and now will retreat back a little bit as D'Souza picks it up and tries to gain speed. D'Souza gets through 1. No, she doesn't. Camerata picks it off and sends it right back down. D'Souza didn't want to let Camerata get through. And when she fell down, she stayed right in front of her. Always a risky play when the person in front of you has 2 knives on the bottom of their shoes. Those are called ice skates, hockey skates, and they're sharp. Kepler retreats into her own end as the Bandits now have 42 seconds left to kill off on the penalty to Folia. Kepler has it, has time, banks it off the boards. It's probably going to be an icing unless that, and they wave it off again. Boy, I'll tell you, that's a huge break for the Bandits right there. Icing in effect in all situations. I'm just not sure why they waved that one off, and they've waved off a bunch of them like that. The puck was slowing down as it got to the end line. This one they will call. So the puck was slowing down, but not nearly enough for a Polar Bears player to be able to catch up to it. And it has gone both ways, but probably a few more times. There's icings that I would say it's probably about 3 times the Bandits have sort of benefited from it, and twice for the Polar Bears off just the top of my head counting it. Usually I've tried to point it out. Stealing the face-off that time was McSherry. What does this stolen face-off means? It means the player on one team, as the penalty expires and we tick down to 14 minutes left, the player on one team on the face-off is trying to draw the puck to a certain area, and she does that, but the player from the other team jumps in and steals the puck. So the player in the face-off dot did what she intended to do, but was outfoxed by the opponent. Getting through down low, trying to pass to herself was Cameron Beauvais, but sent it a little bit too hard at the net, allowing for an easy save by Lexi Riley. But are there ever any easy ones? If you're a goalie mom or a goalie dad, you think not. I'm gasping every time the puck is coming at your daughter. That one's sent in offside. They'll send that face-off to center ice because that's where the offside offering came from. 13:25 left period, 3-3-1 Bandits over the Connecticut Polar Bears. Not trying to hold on here, they're trying to add to it. Folia came in, sent it at Samuelson, who steered it aside. Comes to the far corner. Folia sent it for McSherry, now to Sperling, back to McSherry, back to Sperling, back toward McSherry's area, but a little too strong, and picked up by Drain. Picked off, sent to the middle, but D'Souza got it and fired it off the boards in front of her own bench. Here's Maddie D'Souza. You get a good look at 6 in white, battling with Jessie Sperling. Sends it back, and they get it out of the zone, courtesy of Taylor Manchada. Chipped in, and everybody was waiting for the whistle, and it finally came from the backside referee. 12:35 left in period 3. Whistle stops play on the offside. 3-1 Bandits. They're not looking to just hold on here. They're looking to add to it. Rizzo up front with Claus on her right and Bellin on her left. Bellin takes a spill, battling Franzi for it. Picked up on the near side by Guarino. Trying to turn the corner. Forced down low by Claus. Comes to the point. trying to tee it up as Lepore. Didn't get it through traffic, was loose in front. Shoemaker Gromick tied up somebody. Shot goes wide. It looked like it was Franzi. Picked up in the far wing, sent toward the point and out. Bellin trying to steal it away from D'Souza. Bellin runs into D'Souza there. Both are halted. One goes down. D'Souza goes to the bench shaken a little bit, but seems to be okay enough. We don't like it ever to see any of the players shaken up. Comes out almost to the point. Rizzo was looking to get the jump on it. Gagnon was back. Bellin picks it up off the wall, chips it forward. Rizzo pursuing Gagnon. Gagnon sends it to the middle. Rizzo knocks it away and gets it into the zone. Change behind her, at least one forward. Rizzo and Claus still down low. They try to force it. It goes up the middle. Gagnon dished it, and McNulty picks it off. Claus skates off. Rizzo still on there. Centered in the middle. Kepler knocks it away. Rizzo still down low. She'll probably skate off as Kepler brings it up. Rizzo jumps off. Scott jumps on behind the play. Scott will join your picture on the right now. Let's see if she can pick one off. Almost did. Was in the right spot. 2-on-2 break. Now a 3-on-2 for the Polar Bears, but an incomplete pass will short circuit the quality of what could be a scoring chance, but at least they have a possession, which the Bandits are now trying to eliminate. McNulty almost does that, but gets a little company at the half boards before she can get it out. Sends it to the far side. Kepler's got room and time and space, and Morgan nicely shifts it forward to Camerata, who breaks in with McNulty. McNulty down the middle, left it for Camerata. Maybe Maeve wanted to get a little bit more on that one. And trying to make the give and go with Izzy Camerata. They nearly had it click. Camerata looks like she's behind the D, but the Polar Bears were changing, so they had 3 back. Camerata gets upended there. No whistle yet because the Bandits still have it, and there's the possessed puck, and the whistle blows. So Camerata draws the tripping penalty right there. And with 10:09 remaining in the game and a 3-1 lead, the Bandits will have another power play as Alexandra Grice heads to the box. They call, well, it looked like maybe they're calling interference there. Tripping, interference, take your pick. It's the same result, a 2-minute minor. Kepler on the right point, Shoemaker Gromick on the left. Folia on the dot, Sperling in the slot. It's McSherry on the half boards. Face off won by the Bandits. Kepler will go down low to the corner for McSherry. McSherry has a lot of traffic over there. Everybody loaded onto the same side, so the back door would be open. Folia or Sperling are going to look to get to the back door if that's the case when the puck is on the right side. Folia jumps down to the half boards to pick it up. She'll try to exchange with Sperling, but a little miscommunication. But Julia just picks up the puck anyway. Folia circles through. Shoemaker Gromick had to retreat behind the line. They didn't want to risk the breakaway there. McSherry tried to move it forward, but it goes into the Polar Bears bench, and that will take the face-off outside of the zone. Losing the glove there for a moment, Remy Morello. She got an atta-girl from the crowd. Good hustle, Rem. You might have heard it. 26 in white. So there's another one of those face-off steals, but this time it was Samantha Drain who didn't quite get it on the draw, but jumped forward and just grabbed that puck, and that will kill some of the penalty time for Connecticut. Sperling gets in, shot, save with the mask by Samuelson. Sent up the middle. Folia gets too much traffic on her chance right there, and it goes over the top of the crossbar. Venuto will pick it up. Play catch with Shoemaker Gromick, who sends it to Jesse Sperling. You get a good look at 53. Sperling will shoot it, send it wide. Morello got a piece of it, so that helps send it over the crossbar. McSherry jumps in off the dot to bang it against the boards. Drain with it, circles, spins. Venuto's going to jump in. Shoemaker Gromick hustles to the middle. You can see how they're moving on the power play are the Bandits. Sperling with it. Almost took a hack right there. Gets it down low, looking for Folia on the backside, and it just went under the stick. just a little too close for Folia to unleash it. Otherwise, it was maybe a tap-in, but you got to give credit where credit's due. The Polar Bears closed the passing lane, so Sperling didn't have much to get it through. And that was the difference between it being a perfect pass right on the tape. Sperling just had to adjust where the pass was going. That one sent in offside. They'll face it off at center ice. Penalty has been killed. 7:52 left in the third period. Game 1 of a Sunday doubleheader on Rizzo Vision. Camarada on the dot. McNulty near side wing. Scott on the far side. Polar Bears win the face-off. Scott trying to hustle in. Was genuflecting with the speared stick forward, but along the ice, which makes it legal. If she had it up, then yeah, it could be a rare penalty, but there is one called spearing. That's why you got to keep your sticks down. High sticking and even spearing. Oh, Camarada nearly had that one picked off. Scott now the Bandits just don't want to let the Polar Bears get in cleanly. Gagnon finally says, let me get it in there, but Stowe hadn't exited the zone yet. And again, we talked about this in one of the earlier offside. That's pretty clearly the Polar Bears could see that sending the puck there was going to cause an automatic offside. And the intentional offside, the infraction is not a penalty of somebody in the box, but you have the face-off in your defensive zone. Long pass there, doesn't quite connect. Gagnon was looking for Bryn Cunningham. Cunningham did get a piece, so there was no icing. Now Venuto's going to bring it out. It's going to be a 3-on-1. Venuto sends it far off the boards for Camarada. Now a 2-on-1. Camarada sends it for Venuto. She redirected it, but it goes wide. Nearly had it working. That's a speed play, a timing play. It's a bang-bang play. Camarada made the pass. Venuto got the stick on it, just didn't get it directed into the net. Sent at the net. Lexi Riley knocks it down so it doesn't get further into the crease. The puck came from beyond the end line. It wouldn't really be a save. A save is when a goalie prevents a puck that would have gone into the net from going into the net. So a position player, or a skater as they're called, can never get a save, and a shot on goal always results in either a save for the goalie or a goal. So when that puck comes from behind the end line and Riley knocks it down to cover it, what Lexi's doing is preventing a puck from being in a dangerous area where somebody can score on her. So that's a little bit of Hockey Stats 101 for those who are not in the know, and for those who are, thanks for putting up with it. Sherry tries to send it out. Folia trying to power it through. There's 3 Polar Bears there and 2 Bandits. And 2 Bandits does beat 3 Polar Bears. Or do beat 3 Polar Bears. But you get what I mean. Under 6 minutes left. 3-1 Bandits as they still are not taking their foot off the gas. They are not trying to hang on. They are trying to keep the pressure on, which is what you really have to do to a potent team like the Polar Bears. There is going to be a trip, and the Bandits are going to be in the box now. It looks like Shoemaker Gromick is going to be the one that is called. And let's just make sure that's the case. It's all the way at the other end of the ice, so not easy for me to see. But in fact, that is the call. Actually, it looks like they call roughing on Logan Shoemaker Gromick. So with 5:37 left, this could be the Polar Bears' golden opportunity to get back in this game, and a huge penalty kill for the Bandits with 5:37 left and 2 minutes to kill. At the point, Scott nearly took it away, and she would have been off to the races, Mandy Scott. She forced Lepore to have to spin away. Getting into the zone now is Guarino, sends it behind the end line. Grice had it for a moment, rather strained. Near side, trying to tee it up. That was Grace. It's sent to the far corner, now comes up to the point and knocked away by one of the Bandits, and maybe a second. Camarada trying to jump in to complete it with McCaffrey. Scott does the job, gets it over the center line and dumps it. Stays in pursuit as there's a change happening behind her, and Folia jumps out. So Venuto now on D. Folia picks it up. She's got Scott. She tees it up. Shot. Rebound. After the save, Scott had a piece of the rebound there, but a little too much traffic. 50 seconds left now on the power play. 4:26 left. And 4:25, 24, 23 as time ticks down. And the more time that ticks off, at some point the clock becomes the friend of the Bandits. It's not quite there yet. And the goalie is still in there. They could potentially try to go 6-on-4. It's not happening. Some coaches would do it at this point with a 2-goal deficit and a power play, but the Polar Bears elect to set it up. Shot, score! A missile, an absolute missile by Riley Gagnon. Just gets under the crossbar. It's a power play goal with 3:57 left that cuts the deficit to 3-2 for the Polar Bears. Gagnon teed it up at the point and just released an absolute rocket. It tucked in. It didn't go bar down, but it got just underneath the crossbar. So the plot thickens. The 20 seconds are still up on the board for a moment. Now they're off, so we're back to even strength. Polar Bears now with a little life in their step. They try to center it. Riley save, covers it up before a rebound. So Lexi's going to be tested here in the final 3:42. The Bandits posted a couple of 4-2 victories over St. James on Saturday. One of them was a similar situation where they were up 3-1 and another Gagnon rocket hits somebody on the way. It might have been even someone from her own team. They were up 3-1. And with 51 seconds or 52 seconds left, St. James scored to make it 3-2. Then they pulled the goalie. They scored at even strength. Then they pulled the goalie, and Camarada found the empty net. Riley with a big save. She got the heel of the glove on one that was ticketed for the top corner of the net. Bandits under pressure. 3:12 left. Slapper, Riley save, and she covers it with the glove, sealing it to the Bandits logo on her chest. Oftentimes, it's not the first save, it's how the goalie makes the first save. Is there a rebound? And especially in this case, the Polar Bears are going to blitz the net with reckless abandon. If there is a rebound, but Riley didn't give one. Near side. Now to the far side point, redirected in front, Riley kicked it out with the left pad, and now she covers that one up with the glove. Lexi's coming up big here as the Polar Bears are sliding down the iceberg here. They have all the momentum right now. Can the Bandits hang on? Now they're trying to hang on. Polar Bears haven't had this much possession as Riley kicks the right toe out to make that save. The puck didn't have a lot on it, but she was going one way and the puck was going the other. Kept in at the point. Now they exchange. Teed up through traffic. It goes wide by Lepore. Near side wall. Somebody's going to try to get it out. It's McNulty. Camarada will race this one down. Camarada will cut to the net. Camarada gets a shot off, but a big save by Samuelson keeps it a 1-goal game with 2:16 left. Camarada nearly sealed the deal there, but Samuelson with another big save. She's made a few. Sent into the defensive zone. McCaffrey bangs it right out. Camarada will get a piece of it there in front of her own bench. It's loose in neutral ice and sent back in. McNulty's going to put the changing players under pressure. She and Camarada, let's see if they could force a turnover. Folia's out there. Stowe brought it in. She scored the first one shorthanded. Gagnon with the second one to cut it to 3-2. They're both out there now for the Polar Bears, 65-5. Still 5 aside as Riley covers that one up. clock with 1:36 left. There's less than 100 seconds. Timeout for the Polar Bears, and we will see with the offensive zone draw ensuing if they elect to pull Aaron Samuelson for an extra attacker. The clock just ticked 10 more seconds down. It's 1:36 that's supposed to be there. We haven't. If this one didn't throw you enough, we're going to do it again at 3:30 Eastern. So we're glad if you've jumped on Rizzo Vision to check out the Bandits and the Polar Bears. From Shelton, Connecticut. Lexi Riley has been under more fire here in the later part of the third than pretty much the rest of the game combined. If you're just joining us, you picked a great time. The clock says 1:26. I think they're supposed to be 1:36, but maybe I missed something. I think they are looking at the clock on the board. Hopefully that's not a factor. Defensive zone draw. Folia. Referee. One referee still talking to the scorer's table. The other referee drops the puck, and Sperling steals it. The net is not empty, so otherwise it would have been pot shot. So there was 1:26. I'm not always looking at the clock because it's only on one side. Now Samuelson heads to the bench. She clears the mark, and it's 6 attackers on 5 for the white shirts. It comes to the near side point. Hustling to get there is D'Souza. Tries to send it at the net. It's redirected. It goes over the crossbar. McSherry gets a piece. If she gets it into the middle, they have an empty net to shoot at. You might even take an icing just to take the pot shot. That's been a new thing. Scrum in the far side corner. The Bandits will take it. Down to 43 seconds. It comes to the point. Gagnon through traffic. It doesn't get through. Trying to get it out. Folia uses the body and ends up using herself as a shield to help McSherry get it out. Gagnon tries to get it in. Sperling gets it toward the center ice. Hits into somebody. As D'Souza turned, she just turned right into Sperling right there. Bandits just trying to get it out. Sperling takes a shot, but it's going to be wide, and that's an icing. So 14.3 seconds left, and it'll be an offensive zone draw for the Polar Bears, who are down 3-2. The Bandits looking to seal this one. We've been 6 on 5, have Connecticut for the last 86 seconds of the game. Falling on it there was Camarada, just trying to tie up anybody legally. Shot, blocked, another shot, doesn't get through. 4 seconds left, they send it to the point. Laporte tees it up, Riley saves it, and that expires the clock! Riley saved it at the buzzer, and the Bandits pull off the 3-2 victory. Lexi Riley came up big. She was under a barrage for the last 7 minutes. She kept all but one of them out, and that's what she needed to do. The Bandits walk away with the victory, and they will face it off again with the Polar Bears in about 100 minutes. Kevin Camarada with the final shots on goal. 23-20 for the Bandits, but the third period belonged to the Polar Bears, 11-3. So Riley stood her ground, and Lexi needed to do it until the absolute last second of the game because the Polar Bears were not giving it up. They nearly had it tied, but 32 kept it a 3-2 margin at the buzzer, and that's how the Bandits finish it. So they earn at least a split. They've got their third win in 3 games this weekend, and one more to go. These two teams coming back on Rizzo Vision, 3:30 Eastern Time. If you haven't subscribed, then we invite you to do so and hit that alerts button, and every time we go live or upload new content, you will be alerted to it. You'll get a good look at the winning team here as they head into the locker room. We'll hang on and give you this look as there's a bit of celebration. There's Katie McCaffrey, Julia Folia, Morgan Kepler, Jesse Sperling asking for the zoom in on that play. We can interview Jesse right now. Jesse, did you see the puck go into the net? Talk here. Talk.
100% hit the back bar.
Okay, so Jesse says it 100% hit the back bar, and it was in. I thought I saw it as well. That's the way I called it. And there's Lexi showing us her good side. How close was that save right at the end of the game? Talking to here.
It was a buzzer beater save.
Buzzer beater save. Okay, so we got that one right too. Great job by our Bandits girls. A walk-off save as they head into the locker room. And thank you very much, Lexi, for the compliment. We appreciate all of them. And anytime they come from players, parents, fans, it is very appreciated no matter which side. We often do hear stuff from our opponents of the Bandits, but let's face it, it's girls hockey, a wonderful sorority. All the girls are special. It's a big deal if they play, and if you play for or against, you're still part of the hockey family, and that is how we treat it here on Rizzo Vision. It's for the girls. That's going to do it. We'll take a hiatus, maybe get something to eat, and come back at it at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time during the witching hour of the NFL. So once your NFL games end, then turn back the volume on Rizzo Vision, but keep us up on a device or a TV or whatever while you're watching the end of your favorite games, or just blow those off because I think this was pretty exciting. That is going to do it for Game 1 from Shelton, Connecticut. Bandits win at 3-2 over the Connecticut Polar Bears. This is Joe Rizzo. Thanks for watching New Jersey Bandits girls hockey on Rizzo Vision.